Welcome to the FBAA's Top Broker Podcast for mortgage brokers looking to take their business to the next level with your host, Joshua Vecchio.
Today we have Peter Vassilis, the Director of Black and White Finance, based in New South Wales and is setting the industry afire. Only broking 12 months and already nominated for 2 national awards. In this episode, we look at the combination of youth and experience, discussing the many ways to leverage this through mentorship. By the end of this episode, you're going to feel a sense of direction in knowing how you too can get on fire. So let's jump in. Peter, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Josh. It's a pleasure to be on it.
So Peter, let's talk about your journey because it's quite an interesting journey. This concept of black and white finance started some time ago.
Yes, it did. It actually, as cliché as it could sound, started one day on a beach in Greece a couple of years ago. My wife and I were sitting on a beach and basically asking each other a few simple questions, not too serious or intense on a beach in Greece on a holiday. And one of the questions was like, what does success look like for us in 5 years from today? Now, my wife and business partner responded with a child, married, and luckily together with me, healthy and importantly, happiness. And I responded with the same, but asked, what does happiness actually look like? And I remember sitting on a couch many moons ago with a mentor of mine, and it was also my uncle, Tassa, and we mapped out what life after uni could actually look like. And I had a passion for finance and always wanted investment bank, always wanted credit skills, always wanted the BDM experience. And one day I owned brokerage, but I suppose 10 years later, after that couch discussion, unfortunately successful years later, this final broker bit to, I suppose, that equation was still missing, and we needed to get it back on track because that's what I and later we always wanted. And we started mapping it out, and after, I suppose, 3 weeks of different conversations around Europe, we had a bit of an idea, and we worked out why. And it was because we cared about people, we cared about helping people, and we used finance ourselves for the benefit of building long-term wealth through property, and we wanted others to do the same. And we started testing it and calling different people, and people started letting us know that we were able to make black and white of it, and we simplified finance for people. And we Googled the name, and it hadn't been taken here in our country, and we ran with it.
So Peter, how did you get into the industry?
It happened about 10 years ago after I finished uni, completed my Bachelor of Business, majoring in Accounting and Finance. And after a stint with an accounting firm, PRS, I realized that accounting actually wasn't for me, and I did have a passion for property and finance. And when I was discussing with my mentor what type of career I'd like to go down, we looked at what my skill sets were and what my passion was, and finance seemed the way to go. And when you come out of uni and you complete a degree, it's one of those really good ideas to get into an investment bank, and that's what I attempted to do, and I was fortunate to achieve. So I joined Macquarie Bank and ended up in their securitization team with mortgages, and started off in credit, did a bit of relationship support and credit and communications and all different types of banking at the time. I was quite fortunate. They provided me with an excellent opportunity to develop a lot of skills. And while I was doing that, I was really enjoying it. And that's where it all started from. And then that led me to then joining Bank West where I was able to be successful as a lender, and then also as a business development manager in both residential and commercial capacities.
Your favorite quote is, "If everything's under control, you're not going fast enough." Peter, how does this relate to your transition from banker to broker?
Yeah, absolutely. From banking, my perspective there was, at the time, well, I was seeing a few of these successful bankers, and I was seeing them in a sales capacity working at a very fast pace. And I could see that there was this correlation between this speed to, I suppose, market and speed with work, and I really like that. So I tried to adopt it myself, and what I realized was when I didn't have that speed and when I wasn't moving forward with pace, and I wasn't going fast enough, I wasn't succeeding. And that was, I suppose, a factor for me, and what was pivotal to my success as a banker. And it's transitioned now into my role as a broker, because when I'm not keeping the activity high, and it's quite common sense, and many successful brokers out there will know this, when the activity drops, your numbers drop, everything drops. When you're keeping the activity high and you're going fast, success is at the end of that. And for us, we really do feel that if everything is under control and everything is all in place nice and perfectly, well then, yeah, you're not going fast enough, as Mario Andretti did once say.
Peter, you start your day before it ends. Talk me through this process.
Yes, indeed. Well, I am up early, very early. I wouldn't say it's stupid o'clock, but it's 5 o'clock. And the routine is, I suppose, what has contributed to us being able to achieve a little bit in such a short amount of time. And I've carried this with me from my days as a BDM or as a lender or as a banker. We from the get-go, from 5 a.m., or myself, I'd love to have a real cold glass of water to wake me up. I love a very strong coffee. And without that, I think I would be absolutely nowhere. I do like to exercise or go to the gym. After that, try and shower and then get clean and read the news while I'm having something to eat. And then start the list that I've prepared the day before, which usually entails calls from about 8:30 to 10 or so, depending on what time my first meeting starts. Speaking of meetings, then I'll then go into my meetings for the day. Don't like to have more than 3. And then we finish that list off that I prepared the day before. I then prepare the list for the following day. I do spend time with my daughter then, with my wife, and that's when I do like to put the phone down and de-digitize, as they say. Then I'll help put our daughter to bed and spend a little bit more time with Jamie, my wife and business partner, and then we'll, I suppose, try and tidy up a few loose ends from the phone, or if we have to, then turn on the lappy and then, get to sleep at an early time. Ideally, and our utopia is to get to bed at about 9:30. Life is not perfect, but that's the general gist of it all, and then we repeat it the following day.
I know you've seeked out mentors and currently have a few. What has this done for your business?
Yeah, the mentors are pivotal because they hold you accountable for what it is that you've mapped out to achieve. They let you, I suppose, put down on paper objectives and goals, and then if it's done effectively, able to provide you with someone to bounce that off, and then also then to keep you in check so you're on that road to success. What I've found from my perspective and others in the industry and outside the industry is that it's very important to find someone that you see will help you on that journey, not necessarily someone that's going to blow wind up your pipe and just tell you the things that you'd like to hear. And the reason why I've gone with my mentor, and I do have two different types. One, I've gone for one that's very fast-paced, very achievement-driven, and this individual is also someone that is very successful, has been successful in the industry and outside of the industry, and can apply different, I suppose, perspectives. So this person has kept me in track for the last 10 years, and the person that I go to for the predominant portion of my mentoring and coaching, and that's who I go to all the time. And I think it's important to have one person that you can rely on. Another person I wouldn't say is a mentor as such, but is outside of the industry and very, very different. So very, very different to me. I'm more, I suppose, a bit hesitant when it comes to certain business initiatives, and I'm maybe even over analytical, and it does tend to slow me down, while I do like to keep a fast pace. And this other person is very different. Is very methodical, very logical, very relaxed in that approach, and that helps me a lot. So what I think has been a big help for me is because I've had someone there that I can always rely on that's given me really strong feedback. It's kept me in check along the way, and has known me for the 10 years and has seen me achieve different milestones in our journey that we mapped out a long time ago. And the other person there I can turn to that gives me a really different perspective, a fresh pair of eyes. And just because I have that main mentor and then someone also then, as you could say, on the side, it doesn't stop me from always seeking feedback from people. And I'll always do this after every settlement, throughout the process when I'm speaking to clients, even when I'm trying to roll out new initiatives, I'm always seeking feedback and asking how we can improve. And even from the start, when we were planning this, we tried to call as many different people as we could, and we asked them for the feedback on how they perceived what we thought black and white finance could look like. And a lot of people told us different things and gave us fresh perspectives, which helped us really achieve, I wouldn't say a perfect road to success, but at least let us really consider all the different factors. And I think that's what is really important about one, having a mentor, and also seeking feedback and seeking those reviews.
Final question. If you could only do 3 things each day, what would they be?
3 things would be, first and foremost, the most important thing to me is spend time with my much-loved family, my wife and business partner in particular, who don't see all the time because I'm out on the road, and my daughter in particular, Elle. They're vital to me. They're my why, and they're what keep me in check. They keep me grounded. They keep me humble, and they let me hash out the different weird ideologies that I have, and all these different thoughts, and they're pivotal to me, and they're, I suppose, the most important. So that's number 1. Number 2 would be exercise, running, or even going to the gym. That keeps me fresh. It keeps me sharp. It lets me develop a clear head for thinking, and it also keeps me very healthy, so I can get on with what we need to do. That would be number 2. Number 3 would be seeing people face to face. My biggest passion in brokering is helping people, helping people understand finance and property. And when I initially do speak to people that have been referred to us or have come to us from one of our online platforms, the first thing I do try to do, in addition to build rapport, is to book in that meeting, because that's that platform there for myself in particular, where I feel that I can really then, when I'm face to face, develop that connection, develop that trust, and show people that we are really genuine about building their long-term solutions. And this is where I feel we've been able to achieve a bit. So I'd say that would be my number 3 as well.
Peter, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
My big 3 takeaways from this episode was 1, a mentor will break you down so you can build back up. 2, feedback is a key to any successful business and could be likened to sharpening the saw. Like Abraham Lincoln's quote, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree and I'll spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe." Feedback is the key in getting there quicker. And 3, make time for the important things of life, including family, loved ones, and health. So they were my big 3 takeaways. What about yours? Share your thoughts on Facebook. Just search topbroker.com.au. See you next week.